Hi there. Today, I'd like to invite you to listen to a quiet little story. It's a story about a 90-year-old grandmother. Every day, she walks the streets with tired feet and a hopeful heart, selling lottery tickets not for herself, but for her granddaughter's dream of going to college. This isn't just a story. It's a reminder of love that endures, of sacrifices made in silence, and of how even the smallest acts can carry the weight of something truly powerful. Every morning, even before the sun fully rises, the old woman is already awake. She lies still for a moment, listening to the soft chirping of birds outside her tiny window. Then slowly, she turns her body and pushes herself up. Her back aches, her knees are stiff, but her heart says, "It's time." She washes her face with cold water from a small bowl, ties her hair neatly, and puts on the same faded blouse she wears every day. She opens her drawer. Inside, folded carefully, are the lottery tickets she will sell today. She touches them gently and smiles. Emma's future is in these little papers. Before stepping out, she grabs her walking stick and her straw hat. She glances at the photo on the wall. Her granddaughter, Emma, in a school uniform, holding a book, smiling brightly. And with that smile in her heart, she opens the creaky door and begins her long, quiet walk into the day. It was early in the morning when Grandma stepped out of her small wooden house. The sky was gray, and the wind whispered gently through the banana leaves. She wore a thin raincoat, already patched in many places, and held an old umbrella with a broken handle. Despite the weather, she smiled softly, whispering a short prayer for strength. She knew this rainy day would be long and hard, but her heart stayed strong for her grandchild. She walked carefully along the slippery streets, the sound of raindrops tapping on her umbrella like tiny footsteps. People hurried past her, too busy to notice the old lady walking alone. But she didn't mind. Her mind was filled with hope. Hope that today, someone would buy her lottery tickets. Hope that one more sale would bring her grandchild closer to a college dream. Around 10 a.m., Grandma reached a small bakery on the corner of the street. The smell of fresh bread filled the air, warm and comforting. She stopped for a moment under the store's awning, brushing raindrops off her sleeves. The bakery owner, a kind woman in her 40s, saw her and stepped outside. "Good morning, Grandma," she said with a smile. Without waiting, she handed Grandma a small paper bag. Inside was a still warm bread roll. Grandma bowed slightly, her hands trembling. "Thank you, my dear," she said gently. The woman smiled again and pressed a few coins into Grandma's hand. "Sell well today," she said. Tears welled up in Grandma's eyes, not because of the bread or the coins, but because someone remembered her, someone cared. That simple kindness gave her strength. She straightened her back, held her umbrella tightly, and walked back into the rain, ready to face the rest of her long day. Every morning, she puts on her worn-out shoes and picks up her lottery bag. She takes a deep breath, then steps out into the busy streets. People rush past her, some with their heads down, some talking on the phone, some just lost in their own world. Most don't notice her, this small, quiet old woman moving slowly through the crowd. But she doesn't feel invisible, because every step she takes, every ticket she offers, is filled with purpose. When someone stops to buy a ticket, She bows slightly and thanks them with a gentle smile. Not many ask her name. Not many care to know her story. But she carries it quietly with pride. Her legs may be weak, her body tired, but her heart is strong. She is walking, working, and dreaming, not for herself, but for him, her grandson, her joy, her reason to keep going. The grandmother never complains about her aching knees or the long walks in the sun. She simply ties her scarf, straightens her back, and starts her journey. Sometimes the heat is unbearable. Sometimes the rain soaks her clothes, making her bag heavier than ever. But she keeps walking. She tells herself, just one more step, one more street, because every step she takes brings her closer to that dream. The dream of seeing her grandson in a graduation gown, smiling proudly on stage. She imagines the moment often. She imagines the crowd clapping, her grandson bowing, and turning to find her in the audience. He will see her, eyes filled with tears, heart full of pride. She knows she won't understand the long speech or the university ceremony. But none of that matters. All that matters is that he made it, because she didn't give up, because love walked every mile with her. Every evening, she returns home with tired feet and a nearly empty basket. She counts the small bills, smoothing each one with care. It's not much, but it's enough for rice, vegetables, and a little saved for tomorrow. She hides her hunger behind a smile, always saying, "I'm full, you eat more, child." At night, she sits by the window, sewing torn clothes by dim light. She doesn't ask for thanks. She doesn't expect praise. Her only wish is to see her grandson sleep peacefully, without worries, without fear. She has no luxury, no rest. But in her quiet heart, there's a fire, a love so fierce, it burns brighter than any comfort. She believes, if she keeps giving, keeps trying, one day, her sacrifices will bloom into her grandson's future. And that thought alone is enough to warm her cold nights. Sometimes, the grandma writes little notes and slips them into her grandson's school bag. They're written on old scrap paper, but filled with golden words. I believe in you. Study hard, dream big. You are my pride. Though she cannot help with his assignments, she reads every school letter, attends every parent meeting in silence, clutching her worn-out bag, nodding quietly. She doesn't understand everything, but she understands love, and that's enough. When her grandson brings home good grades, she hugs the paper tightly, as if it's proof that every early morning and every aching step was worth it. The world may not notice this old woman walking slowly down the street, but in one child's heart, she is a hero, quiet, constant, and unshakable. One rainy evening, the grandma returned home soaked. Her umbrella had broken, but she smiled, saying, "At least I sold all the tickets today." She coughed through the night, her hands cold, but she still woke early, packing a warm meal for her grandson. He looked at her, finally noticing the cracks, the shaking hands, the thinning cheeks, the quiet winces. And for the first time he said, "Grandma, you don't have to work so hard." She touched his face gently and whispered, "As long as you need me, I'll keep going." To her, pain was a shadow, but love was the candlelight she held against every storm. She was tired, but never broken. Years passed, and the day finally came. The young man, now grown, stood in his university gown. Crowds cheered, cameras flashed, but his eyes searched for one person. There she was, his grandma, standing quietly in the back, dressed in her simple white blouse, holding a small bouquet of flowers. When he walked toward her, she cried without sound, just tears streaming from a proud, weathered face. "Grandma," he said, "this diploma is yours too." He bowed to her, as if honoring the woman who carried mountains with a smile, and she, with trembling hands, tucked the graduation photo inside her old wallet, next to worn-out lottery tickets, and a note that said, "Dreams come true when love never gives up." Mabel isn't famous. She doesn't have riches or recognition, but what she has is far greater: a boundless heart, unwavering love, and a dream she never gave up on. Her story reminds us love can carry us through anything, and when a community chooses to care, miracles can happen. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. I hope this story touched your heart, the way Mabel touched the hearts of everyone around her. Keep believing in dreams. Keep choosing love.